Mr.
How you,
Cox, Mr. Cox, how you doing this evening, brother?
how you doing there, sir?
I am doing
What's
well.
going on? What's going on with you?
Not much, man. Looking forward to tonight's conversation, man, and chopping it up a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, make sure you give them our information and subscribe, follow, like, all the above.
Yeah, man. We need y'all to hit that subscribe button, man. Read our content, man. Go to YouTube, get the full episode. You can hit X or Spoutable on our social media platforms. And as always, if you have any recommendations for us, you can hit us up on email, or you can put it in the comment section on YouTube. And our email is gentsmakingsense at yahoo.com. And then our handles on X and Spoutable are at gentsms and at gentsms. So subscribe.
For sure, for sure. We have come up with some new stuff this season. We had a guest for a couple nights, but we're also looking for new guests, and we're going to bring some of those new guests on as soon as we can get a chance. But I like the way we're going with our subject matter and stuff, and we're going to keep bringing you good topics. Go ahead and tell them what we're going to do tonight, Mr. Suleiman.
Yeah, we got a great show, man. We're talking about a subject, man, that's kind of dear to my heart, kind of um, falls into, my thought process is that we as Black Americans, man, we need to start taking care of ourselves, and stop trying to bring everybody into our tent, um, you know, to appease people. So we're going to talk about the Foundational Black Americans, which is an organization that focuses on our history here in the States, from our ancestors who were enslaved, and how we've come out of that, the things that we've contributed to this country, and specifically how other groups, particularly, our so-called brothers from Africa, a lot of our, darker melatoned brothers from South America who come to the United States, get involved in our culture, become successful in our culture, and then turn on us when they get to a certain point. So I'm supportive of the FBA, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I think Black people need to really get that mindset that, we need to embrace what we've accomplished in this country and stop allowing people to, as one of my brothers always says, Tariq Nasheed, who always says, don't allow them to become tethers, which is essentially latch on to our community, and then turn their backs on us. So yeah, good conversation, I hope.
Yeah. Oh no. By the way, for all of you, once y'all take a look at our show, make sure you get a chance to look at the State of Our Nation. It's hosted by Roland Martin. It's going on for 24 hours on the Roland Martin YouTube channel. And that falls in line with what we're doing tonight. I think a lot of African Americans are saying the same thing we're saying tonight. We're kind of tired of paving the way for different groups of people for them to come behind us and then leave. Then when we need them, they leave us and do something else.
Yep.
So I think we're talking about the same thing now. And for the first time in a long time, I see where African Americans in America are kind of trying to get their act together, try to focus on us for a change. I'm not saying that we forget about those people, but we got to we got to match energy with energy. If we gonna give you a lot of energy, we need that energy back. And right now, we're not getting that energy back because with Donald Trump's reelection, a whole lot of truths were found out, and people really want where they said they were gonna be, and people didn't support us like they said they would support us. So let's get right into it. The first question we got tonight is, can you put into your own words, Mr. Suleiman, the legacy of slavery? Because that's where it starts at. So we need to tackle that first. and I'll go further in it once you give me your answer on that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I mean, a lot of people in this country, particularly non-black people in this country, always are rubbing their noses or pointing their fingers at African Americans or black people, because I like to call myself black, and say, you guys always complaining about.
Okay, go.
All right, so people are always pointing their finger at us, or non-black people, and saying, you guys are always talking about slavery and how the United States has, institutional racism, and you just need to pull yourself up from your bootstraps. Well, what I say to that is, black people are the strongest people in the world. We're the only people in the world that have been in prison for 200, almost 300 years, having everything taken away from us, our history, and we came out the other end stronger. Nobody else does that. All the Africans that come over here, all the South Americans, everybody comes to the United States. You left your country. In a lot of those countries, people are starving, where your leadership is murdering innocent people, and you ran to come here. Black people, we never left. We never left the United States to go to another country. We said, this is our country. We built it. We had a part in making the United States what it is. We're staying here, and we're still here fighting. So I have no respect. I have no sympathy or empathy for people who do that. I've been to every country in Africa, so I can talk about any country anybody wants to talk about. Black people in this country, after being enslaved and treated the way we've been treated, and even today, the way that we get treated, black people are standing strong, standing straight up on our 10 toes and chest out. And we need to be proud of that. So when I look at the FBA and I recognize that what that organization is saying is, we need to take pride in what we've accomplished in this country and stop allowing Puerto Ricans, Africans to come over here, get into our culture and make money. I'm talking about J-Lo, Fat Joe, Busta Rhymes, all these Jamaican dudes that come over here, get into our culture, and then when they make it, then all of a sudden they want to turn their backs on us. And I look at it and say, people say, oh, well, black people don't have a culture. Really? Let's go around the world and let's look and see all the young kids and the men dressing like black people, the young boys dressing like black people, listening to rap music, R&B, jazz music around the world. Not just black folks, white folks, listening to stuff that we created in this country. And we need to embrace that. We got a whole lot of culture around this world. Everybody wants to be like a black man. Everybody wants to be cool. Everybody wants to be have a little bit of suave about them. That's based upon our culture. We brought that to the world, so we need to embrace it. Now, I know I got off topic a little bit, but
no.
I just think that we as black people need to start embracing our culture. Like I said, I've been around the world, and I've seen young men, young boys who try to look like us, try to be like us.
Yeah.
So,
that what you're talking about is not off topic, because that's the current affair that adds to the legacy, our legacy, and the psychological and emotional impact of being enslaved for so long is something that people just want to act like it didn't happen.
Right.
They want to act like it didn't happen. So the legacy of slavery, even today, how we fought, got as far as we are now. And like you said, other people are hijack our culture.
Yep.
Just throw it to the side. And I've always said, when I went to Essence Fest, and it had to be 2019 before the pandemic. The main thing at the Essence Fest was stay woke. Everybody was walking around, stay woke. This is what's happening. Even back then in 2019, we knew we had to stay woke. And then when we left and we got into the pandemic and came out of the pandemic, we let white America hijack stay woke and made it an evil thing. They just hijacked it and made it what they wanted to make it. Only until today, here recently, have we regained that the power of that word, and
Sure.
our and we've done an excellent job of trying to regain that power. It took a little time, but we did. Uh, and then we get to now from slavery, the legacy of slavery, to racism, segregation, all those things that's happened here lately. So that leads us into my next question to you. How do you combat racism in America? And that's, I know if you had the answer to that, you'll probably be the richest man in the country. So
Well, I mean, I have a two-pronged answer. I mean, and I've been saying this, for the duration of my adult life. There's two ways to combat racism in the United States. One thing that white supremacists and people in this country that have power care about is money.
mhm.
That's all they care about. That's their god is financial money.
Yeah,
They'll do and say anything to get money. So one of the ways that you combat that is you starve them financially. And I'm not talking about just businesses. I'm talking about people that participate in white supremacy.
right,
Our news organizations, our social media organizations, our universities, our states. States don't make money unless good people come to their state to work. Businesses don't make money unless we purchase and patronize their facilities. That's
right.
the reality. I'm not for standing out in the middle of the street and marching and all that stuff. I'm for economic protests. It's like I told you, I think the last time we met, just recently here, there was a day of economic protests.
Hmm.
I support that.
Yeah, I think I supported that. And most of the African Americans, well, Black or African Americans in the community that we're in, and we're in a dark red community.
Yeah.
But most of the African Americans that in my community, they participated. At least they told us that they participated.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to say I'm not going to stop completely shopping at Walmart or
Right, right.
Amazon or places like that. But yeah, I'm going to change my spending habits. I'm not going to go into Amazon and spend $500 like I used to. I'm going to
Yeah.
spend maybe $100 and make them feel the pain. So my first thing is economic protests against racism in this country. The second piece is more of Black people need to stand up. And I mean stand up to everything. I mean, I'm an advocate gun holder, and I will continue to be that way. But we need to stop complaining about what people do to us and start letting them know, either verbally or physically, that we are not going to accept it. We're 50 million people in this country. And if we continue to allow people to treat us the way that some people get treated, then they're going to continue to do it. I mean, I always say, my boy, Dr. Richie out of Atlanta, his show, Indisputable, he says, I wish a Karen would. I always say, I wish somebody would approach me the way you see on TV, how some of these people approach folks and the
Hmm.
way they talk to Black people, and they just accept it.
Yeah.
We need to stop doing that, accepting it. We need to stop accepting bad behavior.
I
And
guess I guess
go ahead.
I guess I'm lucky or something. Ain't nobody ever
Me
approached me.
either.
I guess,
I mean,
I guess they look at me and say, I ain't messing with that.
I'll
That
be begging. Look, man, I'll be begging for it.
yeah,
I'll be begging for it. I'm like, I wish you would say something to me. I wish
exactly.
you would call me out my name. I wish you would approach me with some of that MAGA shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm asking for it. But
right.
again, those are the two ways that I think that we can do it. We need to show them that your bad behavior is not going to be accepted, and we need to financially damage them. And I don't just mean financially damaging them to businesses. I think there are people in our community, Black folks, that we need to start financially punishing. A lot of these entertainers that out here running their mouths about things they know nothing about, no problem. You want to go hang out with them? We'll help you out with that. Let the MAGA group buy your records.
Yeah.
Let the MAGA group go and watch you play basketball or play football. Let the MAGA group come and sign your books. Let them support you. And that's what we need to do. Those are the two things I think we need to do in order to combat racism in the United States.
Well, I'm gonna give you some facts and some figures out here real quick. On your point about economic disparity, this article says slavery played a significant role in building the wealth in the United States, but it also created deep economic inequities that persist today. The exploitation of enslaved people provided immense profits for slaveholders and business, while our descendants and enslaved people suffered economically. So it ain't nothing new. And here are some ideas on how to fight racism in America. And we need to know these because they're trying to take our history out of the education system.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back in the day when I was in Washington D.C. and my child was we had to take her out of public school and put her in a private school. In a private school, one of the first, it was a predominantly white private school. The first question I ask them is, "Do y'all teach? Do y'all teach uh, African American history at your school?" And they say, "We have a day where we talk about it, pretty much." So I made up my mind then that we're gonna have to teach this in our household. So I think whether the school system teaches your child about African American history or not, it starts in the home. Like a lot of things that go on with your children, it starts in the home. So some of the steps we can take to combat racism today is self-education. What I just got through talking about, unlearn biases. We're gonna have to figure out how to teach other people how to own their biases and unlearn them if it's possible. Engage in conversation, discuss racism. In your office space might not be a good place to do it because it's just not. But when you're out and about and you strike up conversation with people, you always gotta try to talk about it. Because if you dodge it, it will never solve it. And then I'll say actively listen, try to see it from their point of view. We know what our point of view is, but try to listen to them and either validate their experience or tell them, hey, this is why your experience is not correct. Uh
Well,
support.
can I come in for just a second though? Can I
Yeah,
just
okay, go ahead. Hmm.
yeah, no, I respect that, but I mean I got to respectfully say that I disagree with that
Okay.
because I mean not you. I disagree with the concept. Is Black folks always throughout the history of our time on this land here in the United States have been open to compromise.
Hmm.
Nobody else wants to compromise with us. We're willing to compromise with everybody. We're willing to say, look, let's come to a middle ground. Nobody else wants to compromise with us. And I'm tired of it. I think, no, I'm tired of compromising with you. I
Right.
want a seat at the table, the same as everybody else. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to vote with me, but I want my own seat at the table. I don't want to hear this black, brown, colored people shit. I don't want to hear it.
Right. Gotcha.
I'm about Black people.
Uh-huh.
We are focused on our rights and what we need to do. I don't care about anybody else. I don't care about the Spanish people. I don't care about the Indian people. I don't care about the Arab people. All we should be focusing on is ourselves because they don't bring us into their communities the way we accept them into our communities. And when the
Yeah.
opportunity comes, when the rubber hits the road, they vote for their economic and personal interests, not ours. So Black people need to stop voting for everybody else and start voting for ourselves. If there's something that we can talk about together and accomplish some other races of people, fine. Come to the table. We have a vote. You have a vote. Let's see which we can come to. But we need to stop, basing our voting practices off of other people. Go ahead.
And on that same concept is supporting marginalized communities, so supporting our black-owned businesses
Yep.
and donating and volunteering time to black
Mm-hmm.
cause also.
Yep. Yep.
Those are the things we can do. Like on that on last Friday, we ate at a black-owned restaurant. Try to give that support to that community. Advocate for change. Speak out. What we're doing right now.
Sure.
Uh, our forum is open to anybody. We try to get our friends to come on. We want anybody that want to come out and speak out to come on and speak out. You have to use the MAGA ecosystem, or the MAGA uh, uh, uh,
Megaphone.
megaphone is large, and they use every social media aspect to try to get out these false narratives and everything. We need to meet them where they are and beat them at their game. We do it all the time, and we're gonna be successful in the future. We just got to get on board. A lot of people don't want to get on board. You and I experience that all the time. We got very smart people that got good things to say, but they just won't come out and say it, because it's just like me talking about prostate cancer. People don't like talking about it, but you got to talk about it so you can help the people around you. If you can save one person, that's good. So we want people to come out and speak out, support policies, know what's going on in the. Everybody, I don't like politics. I don't care about politics. Okay, keep doing that. Keep doing that. Find out one day you wake up and your social security check ain't in the mailbox. And you say, what happened? Oh, you don't like politics. You didn't know that they voted against. So you just can't. An adult, an adult, especially when in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, cannot ignore politics. You cannot like it, but you can't ignore it because it affects your life, especially local politics. I keep telling everybody look at the president. The president on a regular basis don't affect your life too much.
Mm.
Your local government, your state government is the one that affects your life on a daily basis.
Yep.
And we pay the less amount of attention to those political sources and everything. So that's what I got on that. There's a whole lot of things we can do to fight racism. I think, like I said, I think we're getting to the place where we're thinking about that. You've been saying that, to your credit. You've been saying that ever since we started this podcast, and I think people are coming around to that now, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%, man. I mean, as I said, I'm not to pat myself on the back, but I've always said that, and I don't have issues with anybody. Only people I have issues with, the people have issues with me. I don't put my hands on people, but if you put your hands on me, I'm going to hurt you. I've always had that mentality. My father taught me that from the time I was born, that you don't put your hands on people, but you protect yourself, and I'm willing to do that. I'm trying to say to black people is, look, no one's going to come to save us. There's no one that's going to be in the cape that's going to fly down and save us. Jesus is not coming back to save us. We need to get out there and save ourselves. We have businesses out here that are doing very good. We need to patronize them. We need to express our blackness. We need to prevent tethers, and I'll give my boy Tariq Nasheed all the credit. He uses that terminology. But these tethers, people who come over here, engage themselves in black culture, and then want to talk bad about us. An example, the Arab dude from Fresh and Fit, the dude who calls himself Myron. I'm like, that's not your name. You from Sudan. That's not your name. So you change your name to a black name so you can be accepted in our community. And now all of a sudden you want to talk bad about us. Like I said, all our Puerto Rican dudes up in New York and all over the country, run around talking about they invented rap. Get the hell out of here. Are you kidding me? We created rap, jazz, country, rock and roll, every music
genre,
thing in the world was created by our people. Now everybody trying to jump on our tails and ride us to history. So yeah, black people need to step up, recognize your power, recognize there's a reason why everybody hates you. You got to ask yourself, if we're so bad, if we're such a lazy people, which some people like to use, then why are you trying to be like us?
Yep.
Why are your people running out to go to beaches and burning themselves to get our skin color? Right? Why are your women chasing our men and
Right.
trying to be next to our men. If we're so bad, if you don't like us, why is that the case? Why is it that you're trying to erase our history in the educational system if we're so
That
so
part
bad?
right there, that part I haven't really, I really haven't fed up. What are they so mad about
Well,
our history?
like our boy out west said, they're not like us. They're not like us.
That
So they want to be like us, but they can't because biologically they can't be like us. So let's erase all their history, make them realize or think that they're not from anything, and then try to change the way people think about them.
mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I talk about my brothers and sisters over in Africa. I don't have anything against them, but don't come over here and judge us. You left your country. If Nigeria is such a great country, why are you not there? Why are you here in the United States? If Sudan is such a great country, why are you here in the United States? You're here because you want a better opportunity, an opportunity that Black Americans made for you. We built this country. This country would not be the way it is if white America didn't have 200 years of free labor.
And the crazy thing about it is they think because some of us don't take advantages of all the opportunities here in America that we are lazy and we don't care. What looks like a free world and a free country, well, not a free world, but a free country, sometimes is deceiving because there are still ways to keep you from doing the things you want to do and be sneaky about it. Every day it happens, the good old boy system can freeze you out of contracts. The good old boys, look at what look at what Mr. Doge man is doing with all the contracts and everything right now, kicking people out of contracts and putting himself in contract and his buddies in contracts and stuff. There are still ways that they can hold us down, and people come from different companies where you're holding yourself down. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Come on now, you ain't been here long enough to tell us what we're doing.
Right, but see, and I say that I say exactly what you just said.
Yeah,
you can't come over here and be critical of Black people because you left your country. You ran from your country. Don't talk to me about what we do here when you are not in your country, making sure it's the way it needs to be.
And people, you said that people are hijacking, just like with Kendrick Lamar in the Super Bowl thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to say they not like me now. They not like us now. They not like us now. They don't even know what it means. They don't even get the meaning of his Super Bowl performance. They don't know that there was a message in every set that he had, and it was about America.
It doesn't matter what Kendrick Lamar did at the Super Bowl. There were people out there, the white supremacists, that were going to be critical of his performance, no matter what.
Exactly.
So
but they didn't understand the things that he was trying to say about America. They didn't understand the symbolism of Samuel L. Jackson. They didn't understand that. But it's yet still they just dancing. They not like us. You don't even understand what he's talking about.
No, I mean, look, the reality is that in the United States, everything that we put ourselves into, we are successful in. Everything. I mean, you look at all the sports.
Yeah.
We put our time into sports. We're the best sports players out there. Without Black ball players on the football field, the NFL is a rugby league.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, the Williams sisters in tennis, Tiger Woods in golf, a lot of hockey players, Black ball hockey players,
Mm-hmm.
All the sports, even in business or corporate America. I mean, Neil, not Dyson. What's the scientist's name? I can't think of his name, brother.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
One of the best astrophysicists in the world, man. I mean, that's what happens. People like Elon Musk, he's a genius. He's not a genius. He's not an engineer. He's not a scientist. He's just a guy that bought up companies.
If he wasn't a genius, he wouldn't be screwing up this drawdown like he is.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, if he was a CEO of a company that wasn't his, he would be fired by now. You
Right.
know?
I mean, and then the thing. This is what I like. You said, what we need to take advantage of social media. I mean, I don't know if you know, but you know that the CEO of Lowe's is African American, a black dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. He's the same guy that brought Home Depot out of the dump.
Right.
When Home Depot had a white CEO and they were in the dump, you ain't hear nobody talking about that's DEI.
Yeah.
But he came into Home Depot and turned them around. Left Home Depot, went to J.C. Penney's, got J.C. Penney's out of the dump.
Yeah.
Right? Because you remember at one time a few years ago, they were saying J.C. Penney's was going out of business completely.
Yeah. Exactly.
He got them back up into the red, and now he's with Lowe's. And Lowe's is a better company than Home Depot now.
Yeah, we shop at Lowe's now.
Right. And then one more example is, what you've been hearing over the last year about Red Lobsters going into the dirt.
Yeah.
Red Lobster's new CEO is a black dude.
Gotcha. Yep.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, everyone's, they're lazy. They don't do anything. Yeah, but we're bringing old companies back up, and we're being the best. I mean, you listen to music. What are the top music bands and performers around the world? They're black. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you can look at, it's just simple, right in your face. Look at Barack Obama. They talk about Barack Obama all the time, but he brought us from the abyss.
Yep.
I mean, we were really going down. Yep. He brought us back, made us stronger, gave us the closest thing we could get to universal health care.
Yep.
And now they, not only did white people, but some of our brothers and sisters said Barack Obama didn't do nothing for us.
Sure.
But they go to the doctor every day and use Obamacare for the most part.
Well, I mean, but that's what the tip of the spear for white supremacy in the United States is the mainstream media.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about NBC, CBS, and ABC. They are the tip of the white supremacy spear, because every single night people sit down in front of their television and they watch the news, and it's all based upon things that they don't want you to know, or things they want you to see about a certain people.
MAGA was the first group that I know that took over a whole station. Fox News is built around MAGA now. And you got MSNBC and CNN scrambling, trying to keep up by doing business like they always did business. You can't fight the MAGA the MAGA marketing system like it is, like you always have, because they don't care if you catch them in a lie. They really don't care. They lie every day, all day. What you have to do is you got to put people on air that's really willing to fight back and tell you when they're lying, and tell you by not hemming and hawing, but saying, well, I wouldn't have said it like that. It's not quite a lie. It's a lie. You need to call it a lie. And once again, I say that one of the persons out there right now that's putting out the truth every 5 minutes almost, and seem like she's everywhere, is Jasmine Crockett, the congressman out of Texas. She don't hold nothing back. She really doesn't. And
well, I mean, you're 100% right. And to me, those are the people that we need to highlight. We need to highlight Jasmine, Congressman Crawford. We need to highlight Roland Martin. We need to highlight Tariq Nasheed. We need to highlight, Michael Eric Dyson. We need to highlight Black men and women that are out there talking on behalf of Black people. Like I said, I don't have anything against anybody else, but it needs to be, I'm coming to the table talking about Black people. Whatever it is that you and I can come together about, and we can work together as a team, I'm willing to do that. But no, I'm not for people of color. They can keep that. I don't care anything about that. Mm-hmm. I'm about Black people and us accomplishing what we need to accomplish. I think we need to have gatekeepers on who we allow in our community and who we don't. Puerto Ricans want to do rap, fine. Go do rap and sell it to Puerto Ricans. Don't come into our community and think you're going to be part of our groups, part of our music industry, and you're going to sell records to our people. No, go sell it to your people. Same thing with sports. Stop bringing all these people into our neighborhoods, our teams, and allowing them to infiltrate us. And then when they get to where they need to be, they move on.
Yep.
That's the bottom line. I mean, I'm hard on Jennifer Lopez. I'm like, Jennifer Lopez wouldn't be Jennifer Lopez if it wasn't for her dancing as a fly girl on In Living Color, a movie, a show created by Black men, produced by Black men. And J-Lo's up there dancing. She became a fly girl through that show. And then if it wasn't for P. Diddy, if she wasn't dating P. Diddy, and being part of his group throughout her time, she wouldn't be where she is.
Exactly. And Living Color, it was a groundbreaking. I'm glad you said that. It was a groundbreaking show because so many people off that show became really famous, and he put these people on. And look at what's the comedian name? Jim
Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Jim Carrey, David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson.
It's so many of them.
Right. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
All these people made it on what's the name? It's not just that show. I mean, we could talk about the Cosby Show. How many stars today had guest appearances on the Cosby Show?
Exactly. Yep. I was listening to I always listen to the Breakfast Club. I really don't like Charlamagne the God too much, but I do like going back and forth with his ideas and everything. They had Little Duval, the comedian and rapper up there today. Not too many people know him. Not too many people pay him a lot of attention. Simply because he hasn't conformed to what we consider the mainstream.
Right.
He became famous and he kept doing all the things he did before he became famous. So he's not a part of the mainstream. But people don't know that this man, and they always call him a drug head and all this other stuff, but this man got his pilot's license. He owns 3 planes and he flies all over the world and do travel vlogs. And he said he does this so he could show other African Americans that you could do the same thing that I'm doing now. He said, I'm a boy from the hood. I'm gonna keep it hood. He said, but I want people to see that they can travel the world, get their pilot's license, fly. Nobody would ever think that he had a pilot's license because he acts so stupid, But and that's the thing that happens with us a lot of time is people underestimate us, and they've lost a lot of time by underestimating us.
Well, I mean, I think that we underestimate ourselves, man.
That too.
We worry about stuff that's not important. Like, for instance, I don't care about what somebody else thinks about me.
Right.
I'm going to go where I get treated the way I feel like I'm treated. I go to restaurants all the time, and I observe the restaurants. If you treat me differently than you treat someone else, and I don't patronize. I'm not going to get online and get a camera and walk around and be like, oh, they're treating me bad. And no, I'm just not going to bring my business to you. I'll take my business somewhere else. I mean, that's how I am. My wife and I travel the country. We travel the world. I don't worry about what people think about me. If you come up to me and you offend me or you say something to me, I'm going to give you the business. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to hurt you.
Right.
It's a simple way. That's the way Black people need to be.
Right.
I'm not worried about what a white guy feels about me or a Spanish guy or Arab guy. I've beaten white people, Spanish people, Asian people my entire professional life. I've beat them.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what Africans have to say about foundational Black Americans. I've been to your country.
Yeah.
I've been to where you're from. Don't talk to me about what's happening here in the United States until you take care of your country.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, I'll finish up real quick.
Go ahead, finish up.
We as a people here in the United States, we have said we are not leaving. We built this country. We're part of the core of this country, the blood of this country. We're not going anywhere. I'm not from Nigeria. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. My father was born in this country. This is where I'm from. Mm-hmm. So I'm FBA 110%, foundational Black American.
Right. Gotcha. So that's a good way to bring it around to the topic of tonight. what is foundation of Black America? And you just hit the nail right on the head. We're people that not only belong here, we built most of this country, you know.
Mhm.
And to wrap a lot of this stuff up and get towards where we can put it all together, the last question of the night is, how do we coordinate and support marginalized community? We already talked about it. So and when we say marginalized community, those are the inner city, those are the mostly Black communities. How do we coordinate and support? I think that before you get started with that question, uh, I think the coordinating part is the one that get us all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'll go back to what I've said on here a few times, and I'll give my Nation of Islam brothers all the credit. Is Black people need to say, look, we're not monolithic. Okay, Black people were here before slavery. There were already a third of us in the United States before slavery got here. Don't believe that concept that all Black people came here through slavery. That's bullshit. There were Black Indian tribes in the southeast and in the south of the United States before slaves came here. But we need to recognize that we're not the same, and that we're not going to get to our goal with everybody being on the same page. And then the Nation of Islam brother said, I was watching a podcast of his, and he pretty much said, look, we want to work with everybody to reach our goal. He said, we're like a human body. There's different organs in the human body that do different things. Black people can be that way. I don't have to agree with everything you say, but as long as you're trying to get to the goal that I'm trying to get to, we can work together. I'll be the lungs. You can be the gallbladder, or you can be the heart, or you can be the the vessels, the blood vessels. But let's all work together for the common goal. And the common goal is that Black people have a significant seat at the table. I'm not trying to take over the United States. I'm just saying the Black folks there's 50 million of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 52% of Black men are single and unmarried. 64% of us are in the middle class, and 2.2 million of us are in the upper class. So we spend money in this country. So we need to ensure that money is being spent in organizations that are willing to put time and money into our communities. You
Gotta
know,
harness it. We gotta harness our buying power.
right?
We
Target, people who do away with diversity programs. Look, we can make them pay for their decisions. Fine, Target, you want to be that way? Then you go sell to just white people. And let's see how long your business stays in business. Walmart, you want to do that? Fine. You just go sell to people to white folks.
Yeah, I'm trying
to said, I'm keeping our DEI diversity program. And I'm saying that because I hope Black people are listening to this. Costco said, we're on your side.
Mm-hmm.
They said, we think that having diversity and DEI programs is beneficial to our business platform. So my opinion is Black people, go pay that $60, $70 for that Costco card. Show them that you appreciate them being on our side. Right. Jeff Bezos and Amazon, don't spend the type of money that you should spend with them. Walmart, Target, all these organizations that said, the hell with you. You can show them how you feel about that by economically shutting them out. Go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta be strategic with your buying. It's funny you should say that about Sam's Club and Costco.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Sam's Club account that's coming up in March, and I'm gonna cancel it and get a Costco. It's gonna take me 45 minutes away from my home to go shop there, but I'm gonna go ahead and change it. But I went into BJ's buying club, which I thought had kept their DEI program or kept their commitment to diversity. So before I went in there, I asked them, could I, and this was just today, I went in there and asked them, could I walk around and see what they had in their store? So I walked around, and I was pretty impressed with the store, even though they're the lesser known of the three wholesale stores.
Yeah.
So I, did a quick Google search, and then I went to their website, and I found out that they quietly got rid of their diversity section of their company and their
Mhm.
website. They didn't announce it. They didn't tell anybody. Well, we're getting rid of DEI. They didn't say none of it. They just wiped their website clear and uh, and dismantled their program quietly. So
Mhm.
I was like, needless to say, the lady said, "So how do you like it?" Funny thing was, they had a black lady at the front door. They had a black man up there that was doing the buggies and stuff. And I had talked to them and told them that I was going to look in the store and see what. I don't even think they knew what had happened to them,
Sure.
because when I came back out and I told them, I said I won't be joining. And also, that's so bad. Why? And I told them, and they were like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So,
No,
uh,
I mean, I appreciate that, man. And I think that more Black people need to do that. Is ask that question. Did you do away with your diversity program? And
yeah,
if they can't answer that question, then that tells you all you need to know. And you
yeah,
got to ask yourself. I mean, really, Walmart? I mean, you're telling me that by having multiple races of people selling your product, you're losing business? I don't think so. If I
yeah,
walk in as an African American, as a Black man, and I see a Black man hosting and showing me around, or looking at me, that makes me want to shop at your organization.
and I don't think BJ's. I I think it's the fear of Donald Trump and
Sure.
what the MAGA crowd is going to do to them if they continue to have outwardly support that program. Uh, so uh, I think they're ignorant. That's what I think. It's more ignorance than anything.
See, I don't. I used to say that a lot, man.
Yeah,
Probably about a decade ago. I don't
yeah,
think they're ignorant. I think they know exactly what they're doing.
yeah.
This is typical white supremacy, where you have a white person who's never accomplished anything in his life. It's not just white people. A lot of times you got white supremacy being run by Black folks.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
They never accomplish anything in their life. So they need to find a reason why they are in the station in their life. And part of that is to say, I'm not here because they gave my job to this, this Black guy. When we know that the majority of people who benefit from affirmative action and diversity programs are white women.
right.
My brother runs a very large company in Texas, and not large, but a very a middle level company. And he said he goes to meetings all the time, and you see a bunch of white women in here trying to get minority contracts. And the reason they're trying to get minority contracts is because their husbands, their white men husbands, put
Uh,
the company name in their name.
name.
So
Exactly.
because they're a woman, they get affirmative action, they get diversity access that the white man wouldn't get.
Exactly. So,
So yeah,
I mean, we got to get savvy like that too. We
sure,
we have to get we can hate on them all we want to,
right,
but the bottom line is closed mouths don't get fed. And
right,
we got to get savvy like that.
yep,
And I'm hoping with what's going on now that people will get smarter about this and that we will come out on the other end. But
yep,
I'm glad that tonight you and I brought a little light on this organization, Foundation of Black Americans, and understand exactly what you said. And I had to look at our white paper a little bit closer when you talked about uh, 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 that we weren't bought here. All of us weren't bought here on ships.
no,
We were here before those ships got
yeah,
here, and you had the Spanish Americans bring some
yep,
African black people over here, and we ran them down to
yeah,
Caribbeans, and the Indians and the black people settled together and did a lot before Christopher Columbus came to the shores.
Black Indians here. On
Say,
the East
I,
Coast, there are Black Seminoles.
I discovered America. Don't mind those people you see here. I
Right.
discovered America.
We were already here, man.
Yeah,
A third of black people were already living in this country, living
yeah,
on this land. But I did want, before we get off, I did want to say something. I've never done this before, but I'm going to say it because I would, I'm a big supporter of the foundational Black Americans,
yeah.
and I'm going to ask, and I don't know if he's going to see this, but I'm going to say it.
Hmm.
Tariq Nasheed, if you see this and you are willing to talk to me, you don't have to come on camera. I just want to know more about this organization, how I can support it, and how I can get people I know to be involved in it. Please reach out to us if you have the opportunity. I would love to talk to you. If we could have you on this show, that would be even better. But I am very interested in finding out more about FBA and how you want to grow it to where we can get more Black people involved. So if you're listening or you happen to hear about this or our show, reach out to us. I'd love to talk to you. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because I've been doing a lot of work on this show. We're going to look at going to iHeart Black Effect podcast, where we just have the sound and not the. We can separate the sound and the video. So we're looking at going into that. I'm going to register for that next week, and I'm also going to register for the Black Effect podcast convention that's going to be in Atlanta later in this month,
Okay.
uh, and we'll get a chance to sit down. We'll get it. I'm thinking about getting a VIP package that's $150. That way, I get to talk to Charlemagne the God and some of the other very experienced podcasters, and they'll get a look see at our podcast and either give us some information or decide to support our podcast. So
Bet.
that's
I like
something
it.
that I'm
I like
looking
it. We're gonna get there, man. I mean,
at. So
look,
yeah,
we said from day one, man, it's not about money for us. We're not trying to get monetized.
yeah,
We ain't trying to. It's not our living. I mean, I got a full-time job that pays me very well,
yeah.
and Tony's a retired guy, so it's not about money for us. It's about just trying to get a different viewpoint out there, man. Just normal people, normal Black men that trying to,
Unscripted,
huh?
unscripted.
Unscripted. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
have a producer. We're not getting
yeah,
paid by anybody to pump any type of products. It's just us. So
yeah.
good show, man. I appreciate
This
it. I appreciate
show, and we're gonna build on this show, and like you said, we're gonna try to do some great things to get the word out and everything. So I look forward to our next show, and look for us on uh on iHeartRadio soon. Don't know how soon, but soon. Okay.
it. Right.
Okay. See you later, my brother.
All right, man. Deuce.